Hello, I'm Saida from the region of Marrakesh. Today we are going to make homemade bread. For us, bread is essential in breakfast, lunch and dinner. Morocco is famous for Khobz, which is the homemade bread. Let's make the dough. First, sift the flour. Do it carefully to avoid scattering the flour. Now that we have sifted the flour, let's remove these. After we sifted the all-purpose flour, we add the whole wheat flour. As you know, whole wheat flour is beneficial for health and our body. Whole wheat is the best thing you can have. Add salt. Add yeast. As you can see, this is dry yeast. If you have time, add just a little amount of yeast since the bread will have time to rise. But if you're in a hurry, add more yeast so that the bread rises quickly. Now mix the salt and yeast with the flour. If we mix like this, it will be good, as all the ingredients are well combined. Stir the flour well to combine it with the yeast and salt. Now we add water. I'm going to remove this bowl from here. We will mix the flour with water. Our hands are clean and washed with soap. It's important to clean your hands well because we knead with our hands. Knead the dough like this. The dough is hard at first. We keep adding water until we get the right texture. The water is lukewarm, not too hot and not too cold. If the water is too hot, it will ruin the dough. And if it is too cold, the dough will not ferment. Lukewarm water is perfect for the dough. We knead with our hands. As we say in Morocco, kneading dough is a sport. When you knead, you become very energetic and you really enjoy the process. You know what you're doing and you know what you're eating. When you make bread by hand, you know exactly what you're eating. We mix the dough with the water. We will now knead it. Keep kneading until you get a moist dough that turns into a soft bread. Knead with both hands. Like I said, our hands need to be very clean and washed with soap. The dough is starting to form. The more we knead the dough, the better the bread is going to be. This kneading is the secret to good bread. I'm going to add a little water because the dough is still a little tough to knead. This is the method that was used by our parents and grandparents to knead the dough. When the dough is done, we will shape it using all-purpose flour or whole wheat flour. After we knead the dough, you will see how we're going to cut it and shape it. Add a little water. The dough is still tough. If the dough gets the right amount of water, the bread will be airy and soft. If the dough texture is right, when the bread bakes, you can notice the difference. All our meals must have bread. The dough is ready. Next, we will divide the dough into two. We will add grains in one half, and the other half will stay plain with no grains or anything. We divide the dough like this. This half is plain. We will now remove it and set aside in a separate plate. We won't add anything to it. It will stay as is. For the second half, we are going to add fennel seeds and cumin seeds. Cumin and fennel seeds are good to ease digestion, to fight a cold, and have many other benefits. I will add a little water to mix the seeds with the dough. Combine the seeds with the dough. As you can see, all of the ingredients we have used are natural. This bread is good to fight colds and also boost immunity. This is how we saw our mothers and grandmothers at one time make bread. Another way was to grind the seeds with the wheat before using it to make bread. Our dough is now ready. We will split the dough, then shape it. This is whole wheat flour. We add some to the kneading area so we can shape the bread. Watch how I'm going to shape it. Once you spread some of the whole wheat, we start shaping the bread. First, we have made the dough with the flour and other ingredients. And now we shape it so we can place it on the baking tray. As you can see, the bread is shaped. Next, we will flatten them a bit and place in the baking tray. After forming the dough balls, We will remove one in order to leave enough space to flatten the other. Add a little flour so the dough doesn't stick. The bread is now shaped. Next, we place it in the baking sheet. Here we go. We shaped the bread with fennel and cumin seeds. Now we're going to shape the plain dough. It's also made with the same ingredients. It's the same dough. The first one had seeds. This one is the classic one. Make the one that you prefer. Our dough is now ready. We will split it. It's the same dough for both breads. One of them just has seeds. Some people like to add seeds and others prefer not to. This bread is very healthy. It doesn't include any ingredients that are bad for you. Our dough is now split. We place one half in a plate aside, and then we shape the other half. This is how our mothers and grandmothers used to make bread. They would turn the dough this way to show off their skills. Once you taste this bread, you will really like it. Now we place the bread in the baking sheet next to the bread that has cumin and fennel seeds. As you can see, this is what the bread looks like. After we place it in a tray, we cover it with a clean cloth and leave it to rise. Let the dough rise for 7 minutes while we preheat the oven. After the dough is done, we will poke it with a fork. We poke to avoid that the bread rises too much and so that it cooks evenly and doesn't just cook in the center while the sides are raw. We poke it so it doesn't rise too much. The dough is now ready. Now we place it in the oven. Let's check to see if our bread is cooked. The bread is starting to brown. It needs another couple of minutes. As you can see, the bread is now ready. We flip it over, then serve it. This bread is good. The first contains fennel and cumin seeds, and the second is plain. The bread is ready. We will now serve it. This bread is well cooked and delicious. You can see the inside is soft. The bread is ready. صحة وراحة.